J-E-T-S,
Good job today, man. One at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
and the home of the Jets.
Good evening, everybody. Let's talk Jets on Monday, February 2nd with a celebrity now after his rant that went viral. Bubs, how you doing, man?
Tyson, great to be back on. Hope everybody in the chat's doing well. Good to be back. Snow shut me down a bit last week, but happy to be back talking some Jets. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. It's just like, this Jets offseason has been an unmitigated disaster from beginning to today, and it's hard to find any positive things. The handling of the coaching search and everything else has been a complete mess. So now the Jets went from going into the offseason with Tanner Engstrand as the offensive coordinator to waiting 2 or 3 weeks, firing him, and now interviewing a bunch of guys. Meanwhile, like, this team looks like they had no plan, man. Like, why couldn't they have done this when the season was first over, when all these candidates were available? You can fill out your staff quicker. Now they're doing everything half-assed, where no matter who you hire, Bevel, Reich, Roman, a lot of these staffs are already being filled out elsewhere. The Jets are behind teams that just fired coaches. It's just absurd how they've handled this. And it's really hard to find any kind of inspiration going into the season. No matter what happens this offseason, the way they've handled this from this front office, especially when we thought, you know what, Rick Spielman's going to look over this and make sure they don't look like a bunch of jackasses. No idea what Rick Spielman's doing. Really no idea what Muji is. I have no idea what their offseason plan was. It's just very, very difficult, dude.
Yeah, you're spot on. It has been an unmitigated disaster. You thought that the 3-14 season was bad enough, and then they go into the offseason and so far have completely embarrassed themselves. The simple way to put it, they look completely lost. They look like they don't know what they're doing. Glenn looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. He has no answers. And you're spot on with all these other coaching staffs. The Jets are going through simple NFL organizational changes. Every team, every season goes through changes like the Jets. They go through a process at the end of the year where you evaluate the staff, you make the necessary changes, whether that's head coach, whether that's coordinators, assistants, whatever it is, and you make the necessary moves. Only the Jets can find a way to make this so difficult and do this so backwards where they're tripping over themselves again. That's where we're at. You have these guys across the NFL, all these coaching vacancies that already have offense and defensive coordinators that had to go through a head coach process, had to go through the OC, the DC, change their entire staff, go through general manager changes, all of these teams. And yet they've already figured out their staffs. They've got more of a plan in place, more of a process than the Jets do. I think what was so embarrassing and so crazy about all this is the Broncos season ended last Sunday. Tuesday, they fired Joe Lombardi, their offense coordinator. The Jets still had Engstrand at the time. The Jets were firing Tanner Engstrand like they just went to the AFC title game where they were still playing for the last 3 weeks. They waited 3 weeks to fire him. And that in itself, too, was such a mess because you have the whole Tanner Engstrand situation where the season ends. Glenn clearly didn't have a ton of trust in him, whoever it was in the organization. So then you tell him you're going to demote him and essentially say, you're still going to be the OC. You're not going to call plays. And then say, we're going to bring in Frank Reich. And then 3 weeks later say, we're just going to fire you. And now you have to go through the whole offensive coordinator process, which has taken a week. It's a train wreck. And you're not surprised that Tanner Engstrand probably wanted to leave because it's like, hey, if you're going to demote me, just fire me. Let me go somewhere else and find a new job, which obviously he did in Atlanta. It's the simple things. It was such a simple process this offseason. All of these assistants changes. We knew that they were going to come. Charles Lund, all these guys like that. And they just continue to embarrass themselves. The defensive coordinator to have Wink Martindale fly in and at the last second say Glenn wants to call plays. He changed his mind. and then 2 days later interview Brian Duker and then on a virtual interview and hire him the next day. You didn't even have the guy in person. I know he has a connection with Glenn in Detroit, but you had 8 finalists for the defensive coordinator. You interviewed this guy on a Monday virtually. You hired him on a Tuesday. They're lost. They're so lost, and it starts with this head coach who's lost. And let's be honest, this is where we all fall back on this.
Well,
if you're going to make all of these coaching staff changes, why is the head coach still here?
Bro,
they have 10 staff changes that they made. 8 of the assistants, and Jeff Blasco, by the way, actually went to Cleveland, I believe, to take the tight ends position. So he jumped off the sinking ship. Good for him. He got the heck out of here. Not that Cleveland's much better, but he probably at least gets 2 years with Monk in there. You fire Engstrand, you fire Wilkes. Hugh Jackson did the same thing, fired his OC in DC. How'd that work? We are really living through the Hugh Jackson double tank right now. That's where we're at.
But the thing is, they're letting Aaron Glenn, coming up a 3-14 season, basically fire his entire staff and try again, like getting a redshirt year. Meanwhile, he's accomplished absolutely nothing in the NFL.
Nothing.
He's not Nick Sirianni. He's not Andy Reid. He's not a Harbaugh. He is a very bad head coach. I'm like, you know what? My bad. And the problem I have is this season was shit from beginning to end. They fired Wilkes during the season.
Mm-hmm.
There should have been a plan for defensive coordinator day one when the offseason was over. Okay, we know what you're in. Here's our plan. Let's move on. Hire that guy then, and then fill out your staff. Offensive coordinator. We talked about wanting a senior offensive mind in the room the entire season. It was if that is your plan, you had that conversation with Tanner Engstrand, not late January, the Black Monday. Tanner, deal, dude. We like the way things went. This is our plan. What do you think? I don't want to be demoted. I want to be out. You're fired today. We move on as an organization. We act like adults in the room and know what in the hell we're doing. The Jets didn't. You're right, dude. They came off so incompetent and disorganized where it's like, oh, let's try to figure this out as the offseason plays out with no sense of urgency, no sense of confidence. And now they're in complete disarray. They look desperate. And the view all across the NFL is they're a joke, dude. Nobody's going to want to come play here. And it's just like, you're mail in this season and start on 2027 because there's literally no hope right now, no matter who they hire, because it looks awful. Yeah,
this is the most predictable 3-4 win season ever. It really is. And it starts with the coach. And how many times last year, we spoke on this, I know, a couple weeks ago, how many times last year Glenn preached the importance at the NFL Combine of hiring a good staff, having connections around the NFL. He preached that. And in all offseason, he preached coaching. Last season's team in 2024, they weren't coached right. We're going to coach them right. And now you're firing 10 coaches. There was 22 coaches on this staff. 45.4% of them are gone. It's almost a 50% staff turnover in year one. And you're spot on about they have no clue who they want. Glenn doesn't know what he wants. Because first it was Wink Martindale. Now it's, I'm going to call plays. So 3 weeks into the process, now you want to call defensive plays when you reached out to Wink in December. And look, and you're spot on with that in terms of whether or not you like Wink Martindale, at least he identified the guy he wanted. You at least give him credit for that. Like if they identified Wink back in December, they had conversations. If they followed through with Wink, you at least say, all right, Glenn had the plan there. He wanted Wink. He felt that fit. Fine. Whether you like Wink or not as a candidate, at least Glenn knew who he wanted, found his guy. Last second to bail from Wink and then go to Brian Duker. Like, what are we doing?
Changing your story. But that's just like, to me, and again, this reeks of Woody Johnson's probably fed up at this point. He's like, wait a minute, you want Frank Reich and all these other offensive assistants, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Now you want me to, so now all these coaches you're fired, you got to replace them, cost you money. You want, say, Frank Reich at this price. You also want me to pay Wink Martin, all these guys? Aren't you a defensive coordinator? How about you show me what you can do, something Aaron Glenn didn't do last year because he promoted Chris Harris, still didn't call the plays. Like at some point, you got to own this mess yourself and show us what you can do because you're doing nothing. But that should have been decided the day after the season was over. Like, what have they been doing? Like, what has been this awesome? Like, it's like they're throwing shit against the wall. Like, what's going to stick? All right, let's change this now. Dude, it's not, and the Brian Duker thing is the biggest insult to everything because he's on nobody's radar. Nobody talked about him. Nobody knew anything about him. And it's like, oh yeah, Zoom interview. Yep, you're the guy. Which just speaks. Okay, so who exactly is Duker going to hire to fill out his staff while everybody else is filling out? Like, you're going to have a bunch of just no-name guys, first-time guys, and they're just going to be scrambling on defense once again. And the other thing, too, is there are actually senior bowls going on. All these bowl games are going on. All these college games are going on, the offseason games. The Jets don't even know what defense they're running or what offense they're running. How the fuck are you scouting when you don't know what you're going to be running? Like, What are we doing?
They don't even have coaches in place to start scouting these players and figuring out who fits their scheme. It's February 2nd. Tyson, you'd think this team was just in the AFC Championship game with all these changes. With the state of the coaching staff or just the state of things this offseason, you'd think they were playing in a Super Bowl with how there's been no movement. It's just been a bunch of it's just been a huge mess. Like they've been done for 3 weeks. Sam Womack and the Jets defense got blown out 4 weeks ago now, actually. Like the season's been over forever. It's only 28 days in this month. We're going to be into March soon, and we're still going to be on this train. But to your point of back to the point too of just the veterans and the staff and what we wanted last year. This is another example of the Jets being late on everything. They're always late. They're never proactive. They're always reactive. They would have been proactive if they fired Glenn. But this is what I'm talking about in terms of the proactive, reactive stuff is we said last year they should have fired or hired the veteran offensive assistant, right? That should have been last year's move. You don't hire Frank Reich now to be the offensive coordinator. You don't hire Darrell Bevell or Greg Roman now. Those are guys you should have brought in last year or that type of person to bring in last year. Greg Roman wouldn't come over here as the OC, but a Frank Reich, somebody like that to help Tanner Engstrand in year one and oversee things. You don't fire Tanner Engstrand and then replace him with one of these veterans. That's not what you do. Now, all of a sudden, Glenn's looking for a head coach of the offense. So then what was last year all about? It's a joke. It's a complete joke. This
was all predictable, Bubs.
Yep.
When the Jets announced their staff, while we questioned it, we're like, this, there's a lot of concerns here. A lot of things could go wrong here. A lot of inexperience, reclamation project in Justin Fields, and if little things could go wrong, it did wrong. But the thing is, you learn from it, but then the way you handle the offseason is just awful. So now it's like, we'll talk about the offensive coordinator position. So right now it's like the leading guy in the room is Frank Reich, which, to be honest with you, I don't hate it. I wish they had him 5 years ago, which is when he should have been here. But it's like, okay, so now they're getting all the veteran guys in here. The problem you have with Frank Reich is he's been in Stanford for 2 years, been at NFL for 2 years. He's already considering retirement. When you're thinking retirement, you probably should retire. But now what he's going to try to do is he's going to want to bring in all his own guys. So all the guys getting fired over the last 2 or 3 days are guys he's probably like, you know what? I don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want them. I need my own guys to run my own offense. Fine. The problem is you're starting behind the curve already. So now it's like, okay, you want to go Frank Reich? Great. The thing is, then it's like, what's his kind of quarterback? He's more of a pocket passing kind of quarterback, offensive coordinator. That rules out Justin Fields. He's definitely not that. So it's like, okay, what quarterbacks match his system? Talk about Greg Roman. He's more known for his running game. Then that makes Justin Fields kind of guy, Greg Roman, where you keep Fields here and say, you know what? Maybe we can maximize him. He worked with Kaepernick and everything else. Maybe do that. And then you have Darrell Bevell, who's probably the better one of all of them because he's with Miami for 2 years. Maybe you learn something from Mike McDaniel. But it's like at this point, you have a bunch of veteran guys. They're probably going to hire two, in my opinion. You'd probably get Frank Reich and let Greg Roman run offense.
Yeah.
But it's like now it's like, are these guys, are they creative? Are they innovative? Are you truly just bringing them here to save your job and just run a mediocre offense and maybe possibly groom a quarterback? What else? Like, it's not an inspiring hire. Like if they announce Frank Reich as the offensive coordinator, our quarterbacks is Ty Simpson like, oh my God, please draft me. I want to come here. Is Kirk Cousins like, oh yeah, that's where I want to go? Is there anything that's going to inspire free agents to come here? No. Are you going to get a very good offense? Probably not. It's just like a Band-Aid, dude. I'm not discounting. I like these guys, but it's like 3 or 4 years too late.
Yeah, I like them. It's too late, like you said, and I like them in a role that's not OC. Like if you're telling me Frank Reich's a consultant or like a senior something, then I like it a lot, or even a Greg Roman or any of these guys. But as the OC, it's a kind of a high floor, low ceiling. You know what you're going to get. It's pretty boring. Well, it's like you said, it's a 1 year Band-Aid, essentially.
The thing is, this is going to come off really nasty, but I just don't care anymore. To me, it's like Frank Reich will be the leader on offense that they didn't have last year because Glenn's not a leader. Yeah. So now Glenn's basically doing is saying, okay, this offense I want no part of. You're going to manage this and be like the leader of that, inspire everybody. So if you have just say Frank Reich is OC, Bevell is the pass game coordinator, and Roman's the run game coordinator. Okay, I've stockpiled veteran guys. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to handle that, and you move on. So it's basically trying to save his ass by just getting more competent guys because he's not the guy. Then he can focus on defense, which the staff is to be determined at this point.
Yeah. And in terms of Frank Reich, he's here, but this is my issue with Glenn, right? Did he not learn from the Wilks mistake? And I'm not saying Frank Reich, Steve Wilks, but let's just go through what the coaches that they've interviewed here and some of these finalists. You even look at the Wink Martindale thing. This is another veteran who hasn't been in the NFL for a couple of years, hasn't had a defense inside the top half of the league since 2020 in Baltimore.
Yep.
Right? He had some success with the Giants in terms of getting home on the blitzes, but overall those defenses ranked in the bottom half of the league. This is just shows me that Glenn has no clue. Because if Glenn really kind of had a clue and actually learned, right? Everybody says, oh, hopefully he can learn from his mistakes and stuff. You think Glenn would maybe learn from his one success, which was Chris Banjo taking a chance on a young, up-and-coming rising guy as that DC, as that offensive coordinator, as opposed to Steve Wilkes, who only lasted 15 games. Now you're bringing all these veterans in. It was going to be Wink Martindale. Now it's Frank Reich. Now you're obsessed with bringing in these older coaches who are on the way out, essentially. Frank Reich he hasn't been in the NFL in a couple years. The end in Indy was ugly. The Panthers was obviously a disaster. He didn't call plays for that Nick Foles Super Bowl run. He's a very good veteran offensive mind in terms of just his track record, but I think the game has passed him by a little bit. If you're looking at the perfect fit for interim, it would be Darrell Bevell, because he's been an interim now twice as the OC. Matt Patricia took over the interim, and then Urban Meyer. So Darrell Bevell, if he's looking for another chance to be an interim coach, he might be here in week 5.
You wouldn't. I'd feel better. I like Frank Reich in terms of just like developing a quarterback. Like if you get your Ty Simpson or Nussmeier or whatever the flavor of the day is today, cool. You have that, and then you have Bevell maybe helping with the pass game offense. So Bevell's like maybe he learned from Mike McDaniel. I have no idea. That kind of makes you feel a little bit better. But it's just like I don't know, man. It's just not inspiring. It just feels it's gonna be very, very average. But sadly, average is much better than anything we've had over the last, 3 years?
Yeah.
Think about how bad the offense has been. Like, we can't get friggin' 100 yards at halftime in passing. We may actually get that, but it's not. It's just hold the fort, guys, where it's like, all right, maybe we're going to be mediocre this year, which is an improvement, which will make some people happy.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. And or whether even that's a Greg Roman, too. You mentioned Bevell pass game, like Greg Roman potentially be that run game guy, get more of this team's run game. That's certainly a possible combination there. It's just the way they've gone about it. Like this should have been done 3 weeks. We should already have our OC. We should already have our DC. We should already have most of these rest of these assistants in play as well. I mean, who's filling out all these other assistant roles? Maybe it's a Greg Roman, but then just go down the list here. You need a new D-line coach, linebackers, defense assistant. They got rid of Scott Turner. They got rid of Dre Bly, who was in the DBs, Jeff Blasco, the tight ends coach. Like you also got all these other holes to fill while all these other teams are filling out their coaching staffs. And I also will add on this too, where you wonder if the Brian Duker move too was a little bit of I don't know if I want to label it panic, but it was essentially, that Sunday Glenn told Wink, I want to call plays. And little by little, some of the guys on the Jets' list started to fall off. Like the guy from Minnesota, I forget, his name's slipping me. He went to the Commanders.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
I forget. I can't.
Durante? No, not
Durante Jones.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Jim O'Neill went back to Detroit, I believe, which I'm happy about that because I wanted nothing a part of Jim O'Neill. He's been a defensive coordinator twice, and he's been terrible twice. Matthew Arujo got a job elsewhere. Like the list was starting to dwindle, and it's almost like Glenn's like, oh, crap, I just got to hire somebody. Duker interviewed him once and said, here's the job. And then only the Jets hype up Chris Harris, too. How many times all of a sudden in the last couple of weeks, Chris Harris is rising up the coaching ranks. He's rising up the coaching ranks. He's the only one interviewing. The only job he's interviewing for is this
the Jet job.
Yeah, it's like around league circles, Chris Harris is highly viewed. Oh, if he's so highly viewed, then why is he only interviewing for this job? It's another thing, too.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, it's a mess. They're just doing it all. It's just all backwards. February 2nd, they've been done with the season for a month, and we don't have an offensive coordinator. We just hired our DC, which was also rushed. A process where they actually had 8 candidates. They fit in a 9th on a Monday, hire them on a Tuesday. The coach changes his mind.
I can't wait for 2 things. I can't wait for Woody Johnson to meet the media, which will be coming up soon. And I cannot wait for Aaron Glenn to meet the media and try to talk through all this bullshit. And there's no way. It's inconceivable.
Trust me.
He can't explain any of this. You can't explain the process, your thought. Like when you interview Wink Martindale, he wants to call his own plays. The guys on the list, Jim Leonard's not coming here to to have you call plays. No, you knew that going in. Why did you waste everybody's time? Which is exactly what you did. And you wasted your own time where you could have filled out your staff. Like you even have guys that can even play here. So
Yep.
it's
And
it's terrible, dude.
yeah, and they've been turned down too by a couple big name defensive coordinators wanted nothing to do with this job.
Nope.
I know the whole Gruden report. There was some. It was originally
Nonsense.
reported that he turned down the job. Then it was like, though, they discussed it. He never actually turned it down. Either way, that's an insult to Gruden asking him to work under Glenn. Like, are we serious? Gruden's never.
But doesn't that just show you how tone deaf the New York Jets really are, though?
Yeah.
You have a
Oh, yeah.
coach. You have a coach on the hot seat that just went 3-14. You're
Yeah.
going to call a Super Bowl winning coach who's done more in his career than Aaron Glenn's ever done. And like, hey man, we want to see if you want to help Aaron Glenn out. He's like, no. You want me to coach your team? I'll think about it. I think I was like, what? Like, what just shows you they don't know what they're doing. And my question is, what is Rick Spielman doing? Like, what is his job here? If you have Muji is probably deferring to Glenn. Glenn has this process. Who's overseeing the process? Like, you know what? This probably ain't gonna work. Or the day after the season's over, what's our blueprint? What's our first move? Well, we gotta think about it, discuss it. Like, it gives you so many. The easiest way to handle this was to fire Glenn 3 weeks ago. Because all you've done now is delay it one more year. And this time next year, we're gonna be talking about the new coach, the new this,
Yep.
new that. And it's so obvious at this point.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're spot on. I mean, Glenn said he had a plan, right? Trust me, I have a plan. So if this is the plan, then we're in for a long.
I can't wait to
for
hear
Tom
Aaron
and
Glenn.
March for Arch.
I cannot wait to hear Aaron Glenn try to defend their process and everything else. Hear him and then Woody Johnson double down. It's gonna be must see TV because they're gonna embarrass themselves even more.
Well, Woody hugs him every day. It's the power of friendship, right? I just want to know where the people that are defending Glenn. Like, where are they now? I haven't seen many of those people that you can't defend him anymore. There is no defending Glenn. Look, you couldn't defend him when they went 3-14, but you especially can't defend him now. He preached how good this coaching staff would be, the importance of building a coaching staff. He just fired 10 of his assistants. They still don't have an offensive coordinator. They just fired the offensive coordinator 3 weeks after the season. The names on these lists, that the defensive coordinators' names, they were awful.
Well, the thing is,
because who's going to want to uproot their families to come here for 5 games? Glenn's going to be fired when they start 0-4.
But the other thing, it goes deeper than this. Now you figure you're trying to bring in this young nucleus of players to build on. Okay, a couple left, you trade a couple away. But now on offense, Garrett Wilson has got to be like, you know what? I've been a good soldier for a long period of time. I know he's coming off injury. I know he's got paid. But Garrett Wilson's got to be like, what am I doing here? I'm tired of wasting my career. I know this year is going to be a wash, no matter who the quarterback is, because I guarantee a year from now it's going to be a whole probably new quarterback, new coach, and everything else. And then you have Breece Hall, who I wouldn't mind if he left, but Breece Hall's going to be like, you know what? I don't want to be here either. Like, at some point, the losing adds up where it's like, I'm sure Quinn Williams is happy. Sauce is probably happy. Yeah. But the young guys that are they want to be in the spotlight, they want to get their numbers, and they want to get wins, are probably worn out at this point, especially with the way they handle this offseason, where it's like their position coaches are gone now. It's been messy. It's been ugly. They're being mocked all throughout the NFL. They're truly the left. It's not the NFL. Why would these guys – and dude, to be honest with you, I can't blame either. If the story came out tomorrow, Garrett Wilson wants to be traded, I'd be like, I don't blame you, dude. Get out of here. You're not going to see winning anytime soon.
Nope. No, I agree. And how can you as a player listen to Glenn in a team meeting and trust and feel like he knows what he's doing and believe in his vision when this is happening? Like, he doesn't know how to assemble a coaching staff. He doesn't know how to go through coaching staff changes. And this is another just bad look too for Glenn, because he's so cocky. He thinks he's accomplished so much. He thinks he acts like he's been around the NFL for so long. And right. Remember he said that during the season, I've been there, I've done that. Well, what are you talking about? You've never been a head coach before. You've never been there, done that.
Well, and the other thing too is this: he has to stop mentioning Sean Payton and Parcells and Campbell, because guess what? None of them would have run an offseason like this. So Parcells had to turn his phone off. He had to block Aaron Glenn, like, dude, I'm done with you. I can't consult you anymore.
Talk about the offseason. Sean Payton, they already got their OC. They fired Lombardi and promoted Davis Webb. Boom. It took a week. We're on 3 weeks, and we're going on 4 weeks. We're going to be a training camp. We still might not have an OC yet.
No, and the question is, did Tanner get fired or did he quit? I'm thinking he quit after he got demoted. I would too.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. You
have me here as an offensive coordinator, and then you take away my play calling. Take away my play calling. I want out. Period.
Yeah,
get me out of here.
And the Jets were trying to cut corners too, not having to go through the whole process of going through the OC interview process and obviously everything like that. So, but what's Engstrand gonna do here? He's the OC and he's not gonna call plays. I'd want to get out too, especially the way they handled it. Like, just fired me. It's an insult to basically say I'm demoted and keep me here.
They should have had his senior assistant last year, like you mentioned before.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Have a North Turner, have somebody just looking over, like guiding them through it. They didn't do that. It blew up in their face, and now you're trying to backtrack. And I can't believe we're here, dude. I can't.
And I just want to say this too, for all the people that claim, oh, maybe this is Woody, like Woody's forcing him to do all this stuff. That's just, look, I think a lot of this is still Glenn, but the whole Woody aspect too of he's forcing it, then you should have just fired him.
Bingo.
Like if you're like, it's just, God, they're so incompetent.
I'd say the one thing is I think the only thing that's probably keeping Aaron Glenn here is he's a former player that was beloved by the organization. If he was a former Giant, he'd be out of here. Like if he was, like anything else, I think it's just like he wanted the job. He talked about it. He's a former player. He's it's just, I think that's got to be it because there's really nothing else. Like literally every NFL analyst, even former players, Damian Woody, Bart Scott, Willie Colon, all these guys are like, what is the Jets doing? Like you should have just fired this dude at this point. Yeah, that just shows you that there had to be some little thing holding Woody back because anybody with common sense would have fired him.
Yeah, I mean, again, I said this a couple weeks ago. If you asked the teams in the Jets division whether or not they would want the Jets to keep Aaron Glenn, they'd all say yes, which tells you all you need to know about the state of the team because they know with Glenn they're going to be a disaster. And yeah, that is true too, Armin, at the salary, which is a joke. It's a joke. All this money Woody's making off the season ticket prices, he raised the season ticket price. It's a complete joke.
And now the problem you have if you're the Jets is you can't sell tickets, dude. This team is so unmarketable where now, or you already have like Connor Hughes think, the Jets got to make a big splash. A big splash is not going to matter. First of all, because there's nobody out there that's going to be worthy of that. And secondly, nobody believes in the staff. Like Kyler Murray doesn't make me want to go buy tickets. Kirk Cousins, like none of this does anything for everybody. Where it's just like, and in situations like this is where Woody kind of forced the issue a little bit. Like, listen, season ticket holders are giving up their tickets. Nobody in terms of a new corporate like entity. Do you want to use the Giants as your your marketing tool or the Jets? Giants, John. I know the Steve Tisch thing, but John Harbaugh and everything else. You know what? I'll spend money on the Giants, not the Jets. They're in a difficult spot with that, and that's where Woody Johnson meddles even more, which going to free agency just makes this even more worrisome.
Yeah, that's always pointed to the Kyler Murray thing is that would be like the big name because there is no real quarterback in this draft that's going to sell tickets. You don't have the number one pick to get Fernando Mendoza, who would obviously
and they're not trading
usher in some optimism. They're not going to trade. Nor are the Raiders probably going to trade out.
No.
And honestly, you're better off rounding out the rest of this roster anyway. Look, let's be honest. Giving this staff, they'd find a way to screw up Mendoza too. They would. I don't trust this staff at all with a rookie quarterback. I don't. They don't have.
But that's
look at the handling of the OC.
But that's exactly why if they want to draft like Ty Simpson or whatever else, it's fine because you know what? He's going to get developed this year. He's probably not going to play, and the next staff can take care of him because it's just like Frank Reich, whose job is he's going to teach the cat the ropes of the NFL, and then next year he can get his new coach and move on because that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I agree. And Woody has the audacity to give the fan base $5 off the concession stands.
All right, let's go to some calls. See what everybody's thinking here. I can't really see. Bess, what's up, man?
What's up, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry. I'm driving. I'm in the car, man. I mean, you guys couldn't have said it better. I mean, I agree with everything, especially you, Tyson. Like, wow, bro. Like, what they're doing. Aaron Glenn has no idea what he's doing. Woody Johnson should just fire him because he's already trying to control everything. It's pretty obvious.
Yep.
Like, it's very obvious at that. And they can't not develop a quarterback. Hell, you could put freaking Patrick Mahomes on this team. They will ruin him. They will ruin him, man.
True.
They have no idea what they're doing. They cannot develop any players, bro. Garrett Wilson, on any other team, this guy will be Justin Jefferson, bro. I can mark my words. They make him look bad, man. He is so good, the Jets make him look bad.
That's true.
Never used Brees properly either in 4 years.
You didn't even use Mason Taylor properly.
Nope.
With Brees, bro, I'm done with Brees, bro. Every time something goes downhill, he gives up, man.
Yeah, Brees. I wouldn't be surprised.
I understand he's only 24 years old, man, but he's done, bro. It's time to move on. Get another running back if you have to. Even though they're not going to do anything with him, neither. They'll probably ruin him too. Like, dude, I don't know, man. And for fans that would go and watch games, pay money to watch games, you guys are fools, man. I'm a Jets fan. I've been a Jets fan most of my life, but I will not pay money to go watch a game. I don't even want to pay to watch them on TV, dude.
Nope. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. I have not bought no merch. I have not bought no tickets. And it's funny. People are like, oh, when's the schedule come out? I don't give a shit when the schedule comes out.
Yeah.
I'm not buying tickets. I don't care.
Yeah. Like, what's the point? To watch what? Garbage? To watch? I can't even talk about my own team. I wear a Jets hat at work. I'm a mechanic. Oh, you're a Jets fan? I put my head down. I have nothing to say to you, bro.
Yep. Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Like,
I'm sorry.
You already know.
That's
If
always
you're
what it
already
is.
telling me I'm a Jets fan, you already know my misery.
I get that all the
Come
time. I have
on,
my
man.
Jets
What-
beanie. It's always like,
Aaron
oh, I'm
Glenn-
sorry. You're a Jets fan?
Bro, I got a bold take, bro. He's going to lose the first game, and Woody Johnson's going to fire him, bro. I'm almost confident of it.
it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing would surprise me with this team. Nothing.
Can you
Talking
Else.
about
imagine
you
that?
don't fire
They give him
coaches
one
in the
game.
middle of the season or the beginning of the season. He did it with Robert Saleh. He should have just let him ride it out. We already knew that it was a losing season. He just made it worse by firing him in the middle. Bro, like, man, this team, though, God, bro, I want some hope, like something to hang my hat on or something like that. But there's nothing.
Nope.
There's nothing.
Nothing. Nothing at all, dude. It's dude, I try. Because I know, like, everybody gets tired of negativity. I try to find bright spots. And the
There
way
is
they
none.
handle things, it's like, it just, you can't. It would be
Yeah.
like if I'm lying to
There
people
is
at that
none.
point.
Why give yourself? Why give hope to yourself when there's no hope there?
It's true.
Like,
It's like
Buck
just
said
lying
it.
to ourselves.
Sean Payton fired his offensive coordinator within a week. They already got another one. We still haven't got our offensive coordinator, dude.
It's just crazy, man.
Like, what's
Thanks for
going
calling, man.
on, man?
Thanks for calling, man.
Talking
We
about
appreciate
now
it.
he wants to call plays? Now he wants to. He should have been doing that.
She did it last year.
Yeah, even when he had Frank Wilkes here, he should have still been calling plays, man. He's just sitting there on the sideline with his arms crossed. I don't want to see that. That's not a head coach.
Oh God. Yo, thanks for calling, man. Drive careful.
Later, right?
There we go.
God.
Yep. Dude, listen. No, Bub. This was Bub saying Hugh Jackson 0-17 potential.
Oh, yes. The Hugh Jackson double tank.
But it's like, and it was a great caller. And the thing is like this, and it's, like you try so hard as a content creator, even a fan. You're like, all right,
Yeah.
the season's over. Let's find some positives and let's find like things we can build off of. And I'm just like, I got nothing, dude. Like I can understand like the whole Frank Reich thing. If they go Frank Reich, Bevel, and Roman, all right, I can make a case the offense will be a little bit better. Still need the quarterback. Like you can make it, but just like you're kind of have to convince yourself. You kind of like gotta, what I mean? Like it's just not like overwhelming. Like, yeah, that'll work. It's like there's concerns everywhere.
Yeah, it's all kind of just manufactured hope. Like you gotta.
Yep.
It's just hope at the end of the day, and that's not true substance to grasp onto that this is going to work out or whatever. Like there's all the signs are pointing towards this being a complete disaster, and this all could have been avoided. And what makes this too just so painful is all the good coaches. This was one of the better coaching cycles we have seen in a very long time.
I'll tell you what right now.
And
I would fire Glenn today and hire McDermott today.
Yeah. No, yeah, I would.
As bad as it would look, I don't even give a shit. Like I'd have a down year McDermott this year. I'd eat it all just for that now and just move on.
Yeah. No, there's plenty of coaches that I would hire over Glenn right now. McDermott being one of them. And that's why, I mean, I guess the dream would be this, if this all fails with Glenn, the bottom falls out, or when that happens, maybe Tomlin next year, that's like your big get. And it's kind of the Sean Payton route where he takes a year off and then
I'll tell you
gets back into coaching. But
Bubs, I'll tell you right now, if the Jets, I'm not saying this is going to happen, if they hire Greg Roman as offensive coordinator and try to sell us Justin Fields again in a running offense, I'm done, dude.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll make one video to go off. I'll be done. You just know that just shows you this. It's just the path this team is going. Glenn could be fired by week 3 at that point. If that's it, dude.
Give me that or a little Geno Smith reunion. But just think about that. Here we are again. We're talking about bridge quarterbacks for the 50th, 60th year in a row. God, they've all been bridges since Namath. Literally.
It's brutal.
And a couple here and there. It's a joke. We're picking from Kirk Cousins, Tanner McKee, Marcus Mariota,
Well, no, well, first
Fields,
on,
we're watching
there's a
Brady
lot,
Cook.
but keep in mind, there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks too. Like the Dolphins need a quarterback, the
Yeah.
Steelers need a quarterback. Teams that have, like you can see Malik Willis go in the Dolphins, Kirk Cousins can go to Steelers. You could see how they all fill out. The Jets are sitting there like, oh, what? Let's go beg Kyler Murray to come here and try to save us. But meanwhile, Kyler Murray is not a good fit. He's not a good fit for a Frank Reich offense. He's really not.
No, and his work ethic too. All those questions.
Leadership.
And Glenn, that's just a bad look for Glenn because Glenn preaches kind of that. Well, the accountability, all that was all bark, no bite. But Glenn preaches the opposite of what Kyler Murray is, which is that physical, tough.
I don't know.
No.
Like what in what world has Kyler Murray inspired his fan base? Like there's like nothing. No. That's not like, oh great, now we're back. No, it doesn't really mean shit.
No, it's just a big name. That's all it is. That Woody will sell to everybody.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I wasn't expecting to get on this quick. I just you gotta laugh at this point because it's a giant joke. How does the first year coach? You hired this entire coaching staff, and you fired everyone except the special teams coach. He's got to be dying to get off this. He's got to be dying to get off because he was the only one. These were all your hires, and now they're gone. This is year one. How does Woody explain this? How does he explain any of this? Like, look. I love Aaron. I loved him as a player. We're the same age. He came out like, I don't want to see this.
Yep.
But all this guy knows with this organization is chaos. You realize he saw 7 coaching changes as a player here because you got to count Belichick twice. It's all part of it. It's all part of the fucking chaos. It's like he can't see it.
He's creating his own
7
now.
Head coaching changes. So like he keeps digging and digging and digging. No coach, whether head coach, coordinator, who want to come here with this roster. Look at the 96 roster compared to this roster. It's not even comparable. Look at the names that were on the 98 team.
Yep.
We had our entire starting secondary. Coleman, Glenn. Our nickel package, Mickens, our starting safety,
Victor
Green.
Yep.
We had both linebackers, Mo, Marvin, and Cascadden. We had Douglas didn't stay on the team, but he was on the team when he was worth it. We had Crabette. We had Johnson. We had actually 3 serviceable I would have taken any one of those quarterbacks today. Yep. I'd have taken Neil O'Donnell. I'd have taken Frank Reich, and I don't want Reich because he was he's part of the disaster, of the historical disaster of this team. Like this team the team shouldn't have been 1-15. That was the frustrating part of it.
Yep.
Like we weren't a playoff team, but you knew this team wasn't this bad. And there were plays. There was decent football being played. Like I said last time I called, I don't know what we watched. I don't know. It wasn't an offense. Like what was that? There's tanking. And then there's just looking completely incompetent. It's looking like an asshole every week, worse and worse, setting records nobody thought was possible. I will still never get past 0 interceptions. And you're a defensive guy. It's indefensible. And then you fire your entire coaching staff that you hire, that you demand, and you're still making demands this year of seasoned coordinators that would want it, like Wink Martindale wanted to come in here.
Yep.
And you're making fucking demand. Like, where do you get your balls, man? Where? You won nothing in Detroit. You didn't even make the Super Bowl. Nope. Like, I'm sorry, like, you've earned nothing. And I loved him as a player, and I don't want to see him go down like this. But this is, I don't know, other than, and I know everybody likes Brees, and I like Brees, but he's been an inconsequential Jet. Who's more consequential, him or Sean Green? Him or Leon Washington? Think about it. Think of even the free agents. I mean, put Curtis Martin aside. Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer. Brees, you saw the talent. He has the bursts, but he's been an inconsequential Jet, like holding on to whether him or not, we can get another back.
Yep, I agree.
You can get another back. And I like him. I want him to have success, but he has been a completely inconsequential Jet. Even Adrian Morel was rushing for 1,300 yards on those teams. He's just got his first 1,000 yards rushing season.
Yep.
Like, I want him to do well, but he ain't it. He's not it. He doesn't have that ability to defeat having a bad offensive line. Like, that's what you need on this team. And like, it's just over. Like, I don't see any path forward. Like, I don't see, no matter, we had the guy. We drafted Sam Darnold. He's about to win. About to be the Super Bowl MVP. That's what he's favored. If not, we get to watch the Patriots win again. I mean,
It's the pick your poison.
it's the ultimate kick in the nuts. Like, I was worried about a Darnold Rodgers Super Bowl. Well, we got Darnold and the Patriots, but nobody really considered the Patriots. Oh, I really never thought of that, but you know what? Thanks. That's even worse. So
No, it's very, very hard to buy into anything. There's really like, they're going to announce probably Frank Reich tomorrow, whatever. Cool. Wonderful. Don't care. Tell me who your quarterback's going to be like. You just know how the season's going to go. It's going to be mediocre. It's going to be bad. Maybe they win 4 games. Maybe they win 5. Everybody's going to get fired. We're going to start all over again next year. And then you just got to hope.
Could have been avoided.
Yeah,
I don't see 4 or 5 games. Where? From who? There's no talent. There is no talent.
Well, the thing is, we don't know where the talent is because they're so poorly coached.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you figure almost everybody on defense regressed. You know how hard it is to do that? That's got to be coaching because, like Jermaine Johnson's better than this. Will McDonald's better than this. Jamie Sherwood is not as bad as he showed last year. He's just not. He's not a great player, but
Steve Wilkes wasn't a total incompetent.
I don't know about that. Then somebody had to be incompetent because they didn't know how to tackle, cover, or catch on defense.
Oh,
they couldn't do anything.
There was like just no heart on that team. I mean, at some point, it's the player. Look, I thought about it. Like, where do you go? Where do you go for a coach after this? Because Gruden isn't coming here. Like,
you got to do exactly what the
here.
Giants did. You got to do what the Giants did. The Jets. Should happen last time. Mm-hmm. You need your Mike Vrabel. You need your John Harbaugh. You need a prominent power and give them all the power. Here you go. Run the organization. You want to fire Muji? Fire him. You want to fire Spielman? Fire whoever the fuck you want. I don't care.
And if you can't get that, and
if you can't get that, we're going to be screwed. Like, you need the Tomlin, you need McDermott, you need guys like that.
I think if you can't get that, and I know this isn't a popular thing, you got to look for a Jimmy Johnson situation. Because the way the college is running now with the NIL, you need a different kind of coach to deal with. You need, like, it might be the time that you can make that next Jimmy Johnson, that transition, because the college has changed so much with the NIL and the draft portal and all that.
Especially if you have what, 3 first-round picks next year? They're probably the top 3 picks.
That's exactly. You might want to look at a guy who's in the ranks, knows these guys. It might be a college answer for us, as crazy as that might sound. Because who else is going to take this fucking?
But
job?
it's got to be a legit, like,
no, it's got to be a national champion. It's got to be a proven
prominent
guy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like the Giants hit the jackpot, the absolute jackpot. That's exactly the kind of guy who changes it for you.
Of course they did. Of course,
because we're fucking doubling down on Glenn.
And the Jets could have had a chance to get Harbaugh. They could have, but they decided to stick with Glenn. McCarthy, same thing. All these coaches. They
had the quarterback. They had Dart. They got the receiver. I don't think anybody. They said Tennessee had a chance, but like, I don't think anybody. He wanted the Giants.
Yeah, but the Giants is desirable from the Dart situation. But even minus Harbaugh, the other coaches that were on the market this cycle, all better. I take Stefanski in a heartbeat. I take McCarthy in a heartbeat. It's crazy.
I agree with Tyson. I would fire him. I don't give a shit about what your team's worth $7 billion. You owe the fans. Go get fucking McDermott.
I would do it today.
You know he can coach. You know he's a win. Like,
and he'd probably love it,
McDermott.
Dude. He would probably love it. Back in the AAC East.
Yeah.
Go against the
Here's
Bills.
your chance. Go fuck him up.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. You know Josh Allen. You know how to shut him down. That's the answer. You owe that. Woody owes that to the fans. But we won't get it.
Don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it,
brother. See you soon.
These shows, man, are brutal. This is just one bitch session after another one, man. It is just woof.
Yeah, it's
man.
It's a disgrace. But I mean, you just look at the defense. They all got worse with Glenn and Wilkes. And Glenn came in as the CEO type coach, oversee everything. Why didn't he adjust during the season? Then with Wilkes, take over play calling then.
But to be fair, going into the season, A lot of people said this was a 5 or 6 win team because the Jets had some talent. You get the young talent to contribute, the AZ Thomas, Malachi Moore, all these guys, Mason Taylor. It should be better. So now the offensive line was decent. The quarterback play was horrendous, but the defense couldn't even compete, dude. And that's like, and the thing is, if you look at, I like Harrison Phillips. I like Briggs. I like that. Like, we like all these guys. How come they can't tackle? They can't stop the run. They can't, like, to me, it's like if you get a legit defensive coordinator, not Aaron Glenn, like a Martindale, it would have been at least interesting. Like, if anything, just give something fun to watch. Like, we know we're not going to win. But if we lose 31-21, not so bad. At that point, I'd rather that than 21-0 in the first quarter. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at right now. Just be entertaining.
And that was the whole part of last season, too. It was supposed to be improvement as the year went on. You expected some bumps early on, but as the season went on and as
it got worse.
As the year went on, you expected and hoped them to get better. You hoped to see improvements from week 1 against Pittsburgh and week 18 against Buffalo. And that's what we always joke about is the Pittsburgh game was the highlight of the season. That was their best game all year. And it got worse. Yeah, it got worse from that game onward to the point where the final 5 games of the year, they weren't an NFL team. It was JV versus varsity. It was a joke. It's the UFL versus the whatever you want to label it. They were not even in this league. They don't play this sport.
I can't, I haven't missed a home opener in friggin' 20-something years. This year, I was like, you know what? I just couldn't do it. I'm like, I don't want to spend. And like this year, literally, everybody's like, I can't wait for the schedule to come out. I literally don't care. I don't want to buy merch. And like this merch I wear is like, let's talk Jet stuff. I don't wear Jet stuff anymore. I don't. It's like,
I haven't bought Jet stuff.
Like it's absurd. Why? Like, because then it's like you're almost encouraging Woody Johnson to like, you know what? Keep enabling what they're doing. Not buying tickets, not buying merch. You actually act like an NFL organization, which you're not one right now.
Oh, and the merch prices are ridiculous these days. It's like $50. It's like $40 or whatever to get a shirt. It's a joke. But no, I'm right there with you. I've been going to home openers for a while. I did go to the Pittsburgh game, and I was also dumb enough to go to that Buffalo disaster, which I don't know why I did. I went to the first 2 games, but I have no interest in right now. I have no interest in going. I'll go to training camp and stuff. It's free and stuff, but no interest in going to the home opener or any game for that matter, unless if they surprise us and they're somehow good. But why blindly just hand Woody $150 plus all the other money that you're paying in tolls to get up to the stadium, the traffic, to sit in that dump for 4 hours?
Nope. I'm out. I'm so glad that the UFC's on Paramount Plus. You spend $70, you get all the fights for the entire. I've already watched 2 pay-per-views this year. Well, the cards. I'm like, this is great. The UFC's perfect now. They're on all the time. You can offset all this Jet stuff, and you get more entertainment value. Like, you actually walk away like, that was pretty cool. Like, Jet games, you're annoyed 10 minutes in. You can watch 3 hours of MMA fights, and you enjoy it. Like, that's where I'm at now. Like, they're like, the Jets are irrelevant. They don't warrant attention at this point.
No, they're a joke, and they're the laughing stock. They're a joke. It's the same dance, same song, same circus, different clowns, whatever you want to label it. The Florham Park Circus.
And this is the excellent point. What other product would you accept this level of incompetence? That's exactly it. Like the one thing about Jet fans, we're smart because we've seen this so many other times before. We know it. Like, I've seen this before. I know that red flag. I know that incompetence. I know this problem. Like, because we've already lived through it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. And that's another thing too is like you would think you'd wish this owner had a clue. He's seen all this and he still has no clue. And people talk about the schedule. Can we get an OC first? Let's pump the brakes.
Can we fill out the coaching staff first?
Glenn's going to be calling the offensive plays too.
Oh, man. What's up, man? How you doing?
Well, I'll tell you, the Jets never seems to amaze me, and it's been a long time watching this crap, and they never cease to amaze me. It's funny, everybody's riled up. Bubs over here is grown. You look like about 25 right now, Bubs. Really, your voice dropped. You've become like the rest of us. It's amazing. But anyhow, there is a thing that says that the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference.
Yep.
That's really what I've come with the Jets. I care, but it's like I care more about arguing about the Jets than I do about the team, quite honestly. It's gotten to the point I'm watching this and I'm saying, what the hell? It's so totally out of control. It's not even funny. And I don't know. I think Woody has a lot to do with this. I don't know all the details. I think he's got a lot to do with this. Glenn is all over the place. And I kind of understand with the OC situation. I kind of understand that people are like, well, these guys have a very low ceiling. These guys are like really workmanlike. Their offenses are run oriented. I mean, Bevel, forget it. And the other two, they're running guys. It's not going to be a very fancy offense. But the thing is, if you're going to try to get through this year, he's got to do it. He's got to try to bring stability. And these guys having experience, the other thing is Glenn is expecting them basically to take over the whole offensive operation, including making on-field decisions, making decisions about fourth downs, making decisions about challenges, doing all these things. That's why he wants experience. But the way it was handled, this 3-week delay, I don't understand it. And the only thing I can think of is Glenn probably wanted to keep him, and Woody told him no.
Well, somebody had to be like, they had to have like a meeting. Like, all right, what's your offseason plan? Here it is. And they'd be like, oh, you got to be kidding me. You just went 3-14. You want to run it back? Like, you want to do this? Like, no. Scrap this plan. Come back with something better. And meanwhile, they're doing that. Other teams are hiring and firing coaches. Everybody's moving on. Everybody's happy. And the Jets are sitting there trying to figure out, what do I do now? Like, let me Google, how do I fix my team in 5 steps? They have no idea what they're doing. And then you look at what it's just, dude, you're like me. Like, the incompetence is so glaring. Like, you have to laugh. Like, you know what? They're not an NFL organization. They clearly don't know what they're doing.
Someone posted the statement before, and it's a true one. There was a writer called Stud Storkley. He was talking about Chicago and corruption. He said Chicago's not the most corrupt place, but it's the most theatrical one. That's suggested incompetence. It gets to the point. It's ludicrous. I mean, the level of incompetence and the way it is. And the problem is we have a team where an owner, either he doesn't understand or he thinks this is an opportunity for him to step in. I'm not sure which. I really, really sincerely think that we'll know in the draft. If they draft a quarterback in the first round, either position, that's Woody. And I'd be willing to lay good money on top of that they start the guy. It's going to be the Zach Wilson thing again. Because you know what? He's desperate.
Can't do this.
We've got it. Guys, what the hell does Woody have to hang his hat on? Glenn is not the savior anymore. No,
but the thing is, what I don't understand is they're literally this fucking team. They literally have to hire Frank Reich to babysit Aaron Glenn and his team to get this team back on track. You know what you do? You fire the coach. You're trying to find all these band-aids for Glenn and fix this, fix that, fix that. The problem is the head coach. And now it's like, I'm more concerned of, I don't think they're going to, they can't do that.
Well, I think
Woody Johnson goes free agent quarterback and tries to get a big name other than trying to draft somebody.
The problem is, I mean, there really isn't a big name. Even if they went out there and offered a bunch of picks, like just to use an example, and it's not going to happen, but we were all talking about Joe Burrow, right? That was the big thing. We're going to get Joe Burrow. We're going to offer him all our firsts, and then we'll get Joe Burrow. It's not going to happen. But people are saying it. What are you going to get? There's nobody out there. I mean, would they be stupid enough? I could just see Woody making a deal, calling up the Cardinals and saying, I'll give you 2 first-round draft picks for Murray. I mean, they're that stupid. Woody is that dumb. But I just don't see where the hell it is. But the thing I'm getting tired of, I mean, I'm at the point literally in the fall. If it wasn't for the live stream, I probably wouldn't even bother with the game. I'll probably have it on the radio because to me, that's background noise.
They're not even entertaining anymore. Like, the thing is, like, the Jets usually win the offseason. Like, this is our time where we're like talking about all these exciting moves and we're lying to ourselves about free agents. We're literally losing the offseason. Like, this is all like we always lose. Now we're losing the offseason too, which is something new for us.
We don't even really have an offseason. I mean, this is the thing. It's a total chaos, as you pointed out. People say, well, I don't trust this coaching staff to work with a young quarterback. What coaching staff? Who's working? We don't even know. And they can't even, you know what? None of these guys, right? Reich, Roman, and the other guy, Bevels, these are not guys that everybody's dying for.
No.
The good OCs have been snapped up. People have.
Yeah.
Denver, they fired Lombardi. And they hire the other guy, whatchamacallit, Mills. They bring him, they make him their OC. Other people have done it. And I hear, well, you can't really blame the Jets because, look, the Giants don't have an OC. That's a totally different situation. They thought they had Monken. Monken got the job in Cleveland. They lost him. So now they're trying to figure out, Harbaugh's trying to figure out who his OC is going to be.
Yeah, you have a lot more faith in Harbaugh than you do.
Well, because the thing is, Harbaugh knows people. He's been around a long time. He's played against other people. He's seen other defenses. He kind of knows who's out there. So other teams, their defenses, who did well against them. I don't think that's going to be, he's not going to have trouble with the point. It's a totally different thing because you've got a sense that somebody is running the show there.
Yeah,
and the Giants had problems because with Mara sick. right?
Yep.
You had the mess because they kept whatchamacallit, Shane as the GM, which was like, that was mind-boggling too.
Yeah,
But
he's
then
a
they
puppet.
kind of righted the ship because they hired Harbaugh, and he's running things, man. He's literally they've said it outright that Harbaugh's running it.
Yep.
That Shane just works for him.
Yeah.
So they've set it up. But there's nobody here, and there's nobody. Where the hell are the adults in the room? You're right. You said, where the hell's Spielman? I know
We got to hire. They're trying to hire an adult in Frank Reich to offset the stench of this.
Oh, that's or Riker.
that's
But
your
I've
adult.
also heard. I don't know where that came from. That they were ultimately hoping to hire a couple of them. One of them is the OC. The other one is like
Hire all three of them. I don't care. Why
running
not?
game coordinators, passing game. The point about having experienced guys, like I told you, this is not about setting up to win a Super Bowl. These are not the guys you want to do that.
Mm-mm.
They've never done it.
Band-Aids.
So basically, it's an interim. It's a transition thing, right? So hopefully, Glenn's hoping that he's going all out. He's taking over the D position, so he figures he can get that going, right? And then you got these guys. They can get the offense if we get a veteran quarterback in there. They'll know how to work with him. If they get a rookie quarterback in there, even if they're drafting deep, that they think they could work with the guy and possibly tailor an offense to him. You know, with Engstrand, the biggest thing against him, and I would say, yeah, there was room to fire him. And it's not because he might or might not be bad. Engstrom was nowhere near ready to be an OC, in my opinion. He showed some talent. His play calling wasn't the greatest.
He had no mentor. He had no mentor to overlook his offense and give him guidance. And,
Well,
and
that's the
Glenn's
thing.
defensive
I mean,
coordinator.
If you're going to bring in, but they brought him in there, they made him OC, and the guy did not have it. Because the one thing I will tell you right now is he couldn't tailor his offense to the players. And Glenn said that beginning of the year, Aaron Glenn, we do not expect players to fit our scheme. We tailor the scheme to fit the talent of the players. The defense certainly didn't do that because Wilkes those guys out there were lost. You can tell me it's the talent. It was not the talent.
It was the
These
coaching.
guys didn't go from these guys are professionals, and these guys showed things under Sal. And you can say, well, that's Sal's defense. Well, you know what? If they work well like that, then you tailor your goddamn scheme to work with them. That's good coaching. If you've got to fill up a team with your players, you're not a very good coach.
No,
Or you have to
especially
have
because you see, but look at all the teams that had new coaches this year that turned around instantly and had success.
Yeah,
you
these guys
adapt.
fit it. And the point is, they knew how to fit it.
Yep.
You know, up in New England.
Ugh.
Now, again, New England's not a great team. They're really not on paper. They're not a team you look at and say, this is a team that's going to win 4 Super Bowls. It's not. I don't know what's going to happen. My guess is that they're going to get killed, that Seattle's going to kill
I
them.
think so. Yeah.
But because you run out of gas. The team right now kind of reminds me of baseball teams when Billy Martin was coaching young kids. He was great at it. And he got them playing well above their heads, and they get to a certain level and you get killed. I think New England, but they're going to be good. They're close. They just need to pick up some players with Vrabel in there. And the other thing is having McDaniels. That guy can get any quarterback to look good.
Yep.
He made Matt Cassell look like a friggin' star. He made Brissett when he played because Brady got suspended. Jimmy G.
Yeah, but that's like the Patriots are like, they're a Super Bowl team. There's a lot of other teams that have made a coaching change and they brought in their system and they won first year. Having the quarterback helps, but dude,
I got an even better one than that. People make excuses for Glenn and say we had terrible personnel. Take a look at New Orleans. New Orleans was in cap hell. They were supposed to be. They were saying they'll probably end up getting the number 1 pick. They're going to be 1-7. They're going to be 1-16. Kellen Moore, whatever the hell he did down there,
my guy
he got
Tyler
the kid
Shuck
quarterback playing. He got them playing, and they were in games. They won 6 games, and they had him in games. Yep. If we had had that kind of result with the Jets, we'd be sitting there saying, Glenn doesn't look bad. The guy took what he had, and now it'll get better when he gets more of his own guys in there. He's not, and this thing is like really, really freaking gone. I mean, as much as I've ever seen, and it's rudderless. It is really rudderless. And I'm hoping, the only hope I have is if they bring in Reich and those guys, they can figure something out, that they can get it so at least it's halfway tolerable. And if Glenn's calling the defense, I don't know how good, I think Glenn is a better defensive coordinator than people thought. At Detroit,
he's got to prove that, though.
He took in Detroit, he took players. I mean, he was like Salah in San Francisco this year. He had so many damn injuries. He had practice squad players.
I got to hold on. I can't listen to this because when Glenn watched his defense play like absolute dog shit under Wilkes, nothing changed. So as a head coach, So then how would he know
didn't fucking-
if he's a good defensive coordinator? Why wouldn't he step in and be like, you know what, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong?
I
You
think
just
I
you
blame
sit
him.
and
No,
watch
don't
this-
get me
this-
wrong. I
the
blame him,
ship sink?
Tyson. When I'm talking about when he was at Detroit and what he did there, I'm not saying he's necessarily a great.
What he did here was a
defensive
fucking
coordinator,
disgrace last year to the defense. He gets
but
blamed
he
for
fit
it,
it. But last
especially
year,
when Chris
wasn't
Harris. But they watched
Yeah.
it and they promoted Chris Harris. He still didn't call plays. Like, own it.
Yeah.
Like you're watching everybody, your quality players, Quincy Williams, Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, they're all
Yeah.
regressing right before your eyes. What are you doing as a head coach if you're this defensive genius? He didn't show it last year. So now he has a chance to show it
He
this
didn't
year.
try,
And I don't want to hear no
because you know
excuses
what the
this
problem-
year.
You know what the problem was? We kind of had, you know, he was supposed to be the CEO coach, right? So was Sal supposedly. And the thing is, it's like CEO coach. So he said, I'm not going to be in the X and O's. I'm going to be the overarching guy. But you've still got to be there. You got to hold people. Where the hell was the accountability? Steve
There's
Wilkes
none.
should have been
You
fired.
can't do that.
Honestly, players were complaining. The reports that I heard coming out where players were complaining early in the season. They were lost. Bart Scott was sitting on TV saying, you know what? I've seen teams that were like awful. I've seen a lot of things. These guys didn't even know basically what they were supposed to be doing. They look like if I took some guy off the street and told him to play cornerback. It's that bad. That's scheme. That's coaching.
But Wilkes, but see, the thing is that made Wilkes the scapegoat. All right, well, this is all Wilkes' defense.
Well, no, yeah,
But
but
you-
the thing is,
you still stood pat and watched it, though.
yeah,
That's
what
on
I'm trying
you.
to say, I'm not defending Glenn. Believe me, Tyson, I am not defending Glenn at all. You hear me commenting on him, you'll see that. But what I'm trying to say is Glenn didn't step in. You're right. And that was his problem because the CEO sits back and says, hey, wait a minute, this is not working right. This part of my company is not working right. You don't
Like,
sit there
especially,
and say,
but the thing is,
well,
especially like the one thing with Parcells on the sideline, he had the headset on. He heard every play call. If he didn't like the play call, you don't like, oh, let's let it slide. No, you say, you know what, don't call that, call this. Like, you have the ability to do that as a head coach, as a CEO type head coach. He didn't do that either.
I remember times when he was fucking fighting with his offensive coordinator, whoever the hell, well, I forget at the time it was. It may have been Gilbert or one of those guys, whoever it was. No, it wasn't Gilbert. That was much later. But he was fighting with his offensive coordinator.
Like Charlie
He'd fight
Weiss.
with Belichick.
Yep.
And you know what? And because you have to. And the thing about Glenn was this was the whole problem. He hired inexperienced people and he wasn't willing to step in. And you know what? You got to.
Yep.
And this is where I'm really worried. This is where I'm hoping, in a sense, you're going to almost have a situation where if we hire one of these guys like Reich, that they're not afraid to step in. They're not afraid. They're going to do their thing.
I think, yeah. Well, thanks for
I'm
calling,
not-
man. We got people on hold. We got.
I know. I don't put it this way. It's not that I have hope for this. I said if we have hope, that's the only hope.
That's it.
Because otherwise, this thing is all rudderless, and we're going to go through this wash, rinse, spit out cycle again.
Have a good night, man.
Take care, guys.
How we going?
No, Bubs, and like I can't. To me, I can't do any kind of Glenn excuse for last year because as a CEO type head coach, you oversaw a defense that was piss poor. You made no changes. You went down with the ship, and you literally watched players play out of position and regress. This year, this offseason, okay, this is his first year calling plays. No excuses on defense. You had 1 year to evaluate the talent last year. You need to maximize all the potential this year, bring in new players, and have a competent defense. I don't hear nothing about, well, it's this learning curve. Don't give a shit. Show us what you're made of with defense, or you're a complete fraud. Period.
Yeah.
That's it.
And he should have stepped in, especially after Wilkes was fired. He should have definitely stepped in, didn't just deferred it to Chris Harris. And Wilkes was his handpicked guy. That was his guy he hired, and it was a disaster. And schematically, there were so many issues. And now you look at the way he's handling this go around with the staff changes. It still shows that he has absolutely no clue what he's doing. And you guys talked a little about the whole Engstrand fit. It just, looking back on it, it was tough. It was a tough fit all around because Engstrand was working with
predictable.
Goff. Yeah, and he was working with a pocket passer in Detroit, never could adjust to what Fields did. They never used Fields enough. It was like and that was their handpicked guy too, was Fields. Like that's another thing too. We have to bring up, like, that was Glenn's guy. Oh, Fields, he's never been coached. We got to coach him up properly. He's never been coached properly. Basically threw Tomlin and the Steelers under the bus when he went 4-2, and he only got worse here. Everybody got worse under this staff, and he still has no clue.
Yeah, and so Johnny Jets, is AG ruining his reputation as a former very good player for the Jets? I know, Tyson, you said he's one of your favorite players, and this is why you did not want him as head coach. Absolutely, dude. I was cleaning up my office yesterday. I found like a I have a nice autographed picture from Aaron Glenn. Like he wrote a little something on it, nice picture, all this stuff. I have like helmets, I have pictures, I have all kinds of stuff he signed. And I'm like, I literally don't like this guy. He's making me miserable. He's making you miserable. Like it's so hard. And this is our biggest fear coming true. You're seeing one of your favorite guys completely melt and set your organization back 2 more years. It's an absolute nightmare right now.
Yeah, and that's what I think another thing too is when you look at Glenn and why you do kind of get that sense of it's like hard to. It really is. Nobody likes him right now, and it's because he's not. He does just his personality
his own
right
staff
now
doesn't like him, dude.
Yeah.
The stories coming out right now that he told his staff they were safe.
Yeah,
and then they're getting blindsided by getting fired.
Yeah, some of them he said they could explore other jobs, but they'd like to keep him here. And then he told them the night that the news broke, the night before they were all fired him to go clean out your office, and that too was like 2 weeks after the season. He had still no clue, no communication there. And then to do what he did with Engstrand, and that's my biggest issue with Glenn too, is Connor Hughes reported this the other day, and it's all about, Glenn doesn't care about the outside noise. He doesn't care about, the reception. But that's the whole problem with this whole thing is he thinks that he's this great coach that's accomplished everything. He thinks he knows everything. That's the problem. He thinks he's got it all figured out. He was hired first. He was handed the keys. He's the face of this thing. He thinks he knows everything. He's got his chest bump out. Trust me, it's a joke, and he's lost, and he's so lost, and he's not learning anything. It's getting worse.
Yep,
it's getting worse.
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you think Saleh will succeed with the Titans? I'll give Saleh credit. He hired 2 great coordinators, man. He learned his lesson. He got Gus Bradley and Brian Dable.
Yeah, Dable's really good. Hire there with Cam Ward. Saleh actually called plays too, which I saw that was a funny quote of he was the red flag and timeout guy, which you think
did he do
that he was a timeout guy. You think he'd do better with the timeouts because that was a disaster. But I actually do think Saleh's going to be. I actually think he might have some success in Tennessee. I think it might be a Bowles kind of situation. I think he might learn from his mistakes. It's a smaller market for him. He won't get eaten alive by the media. I think he has a chance.
Let's bring some happiness to the show. We need happiness because this has been a lot of negativity, a lot of anger, and we have situations like this. We have to go to our voice of reason. This is a guy that supports Woody Johnson, big supporter of him, always says a lot of really good things. Follow him on Twitter because he says you can see nice tweets he sends to Woody Johnson almost every day now at this point. This is just the bona fide, undisputed happiest guy I know with the Jets.
Yeah, when he answers me, then I'll know that my message is getting through. And this pit just keeps going and opening.
Bubs, I get to work at 6:45 in the morning. This guy's sending me angry Jets texts like this.
You sent me a text. Don't even say I was sending. You're the one who attacked me in the morning.
I'm trying to have my coffee I'm at my desk. On a nice cup
you had
of coffee.
nothing better to do.
How are you?
I was at work while you
angry?
texted me coffee.
How are you angry that early in the morning?
Because you sent me that text.
Listen, I told you to trust the process. Big ships turn slow. 14-3.
Explain me this process.
It's a long one.
Okay.
You gotta understand. They're reading Football for Dummies right now. It takes time. They can't read fast. So they're
chapter by chapter.
They're on chapter 3, how to fire the coaches. Yeah. Chapter 4 is how to hire the coaches. They're getting there. It just takes time, man.
Well, here's the thing. He's fighting for his guys, and when he knows that they should have been fired, they didn't do anything good, and no one's taking charge in that place.
Nobody.
Okay. Stillman is just an advisor. That's his title. You don't have a president of operations that cares about anything or can do anything because the coach and the GM reports to the owner, not to the president of the.
And Aaron Glenn probably has way too much power.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's going to diminish. Who knows? But
and may I ask, not to cut you off, Afram, but what Jaime's doing right now? His role in all this?
He's checking his 401k. That's what he's checking.
It's such a joke. Why is he still here?
Did you see the Forbes list of teams that made the most money last year or something like that?
Yeah.
Yes. The Cowboys made like $690 million. Jets made $180 million. Giants made $181. The fact that the Rangers made $182 is mind-boggling. How a hockey team has made more money than football.
Well,
that's the problem. He's making money.
Not this year. He's not. There's no way, dude. Ticket sales are going to be way down. Season ticket holders are way down. And I'm sure advertising going to be down too. You have John Harbaugh on the Giants.
I know.
Advertisers don't want to spend with the Jets, dude. Why?
Oh.
They're a laughing stock.
this is going to be this the way they're acting now. Even when he gets fired, people are going to think twice about coming here.
Well, you have
Reputable guys are going to think twice.
Yeah,
about
but you have to. Well, the Giants had better ownership, minus Steve Tisch now, apparently.
Right.
But the Giants were more respectable. But you have you have to give McDermott full control, or that'd be Tom. But McDermott, a guy like that, full control, back off, $25 million a year. You have to give him like the Parcells package. Would just save us, please save us, because nobody else can.
You got to hope that Woody does that.
He has no choice, dude. Because this is it. This is
no, I know, but that it comes down to him saying, "Yeah, do it and do what you need." But I don't know. It's just nonstop. You guys talked about Glenn. Glenn after game 3 should have realized guys are out of place. What are you doing?
Yes.
What are you doing? You're a defensive coordinator. Us as fans saw guys don't even know what to do. Guys who knew what they were doing last year are not knowing what to do this year. And
but not even that. But Afram, like Woody, the New York Jets are a very insecure organization.
Yeah.
They worry about the media. They worry about content creators. They worry about what everybody's saying about them. When you have broadcasters of your goddamn game telling you your blitz is very predictable, we know when it's coming. Your offense doesn't call enough screens. Your offense is they're identifying, they're pinpointing all your problems during the broadcast.
Yeah,
that's how bad it is. The post-game show, Connor Rogers, Willie Colon, Bart Scott, they're all pinpointing all the things the Jets aren't doing correctly, and none of it improved throughout the season. Woody Johnson hears it. He did nothing about it. That's crazy to me.
They should all they all heard it. Guarantee you. You don't think Bart mentions it when he goes down there and says something to somebody?
Yeah, but the funny thing is, they have Brian Baldinger as one of their analysts during the season. Right. Brian Baldinger goes on WFAN and shreds the Jets. He goes on, X shreds the Jets. Bart Scott on his own show rips them to shreds. Like they're getting ripped everywhere. Like, and these people that you're supposed to trust, like, oh, these are one of our guys. Yeah. Dude, at some point when there's all this smoke, guess what? You have a pretty big fucking fire, dude.
Yeah. They constantly shaking their head. How is this happening?
And then this process just doubles down as bad as it. Like we text about this stuff, and Buzz, we talked about it too. It's just this process is nauseating because they come off so incompetent, so unprepared, and they're half-assing it, and they're trying to chase their tail now, while the rest of the NFL is just moving on, filling out their staffs, covering the Senior Bowl, like just little things,
Just make the decision. It's not like you got many choices to choose from.
They're just
it's like that person who goes to Baskin Robbins and says, "Can I try this one? Can I try this one?" And the line just keeps building up behind them.
Yeah, See, most people buy ice cream in the summertime. The Jets buy it in winter. That's when they're buying it.
And they're still trying it. They can have it. Give me another little spoon. It's mayhem. It's mayhem. And it's
so here's a question for you. We're gonna bring some positivity to the stream right now. When the Jets hire Frank Reich, will you be inspired?
No.
You don't think
I got to see what goes on. I got to see it on the field. I got to see it on the field. I got to see how the team reacts to this. They may turn around and say, "Oh, look what we got." The team has to respond to it. And I don't know if they have any faith in their head coach. First of all,
that's the thing.
Nope.
Okay, that he's got to change the attitude in that show some. He's got to generate some faith to get back from these, some respect from these players.
Okay, how is he going to do that? Because he came in to change the culture. He was a hard ass. He had the physical practice. He was very demanding. He promised these young players all these things, and it actually got significantly worse. His culture is shit. Nobody believes in him. And then he just fired the entire staff. So whatever relationship these players have with the coaches is all shot to shit now. Well, they're like, they know he's in over his head. Players aren't stupid, dude. No. This is as employees and companies. When you have an incompetent boss. You know it. You just wait for them to get fired. You can move on. That's what the Jet players are doing right now. They're getting paid very well. Ride it out. One more year, he'll be out of here. They've probably already tuned out, dude. They probably already did.
That's the problem. That's what I'm afraid of. They know it's gonna be another wasteful year, and I got to get out of here.
Yep.
And it's sad. It's sad. And you're gonna have all this money. You're gonna spend it. And we'll see what kind of guys they bring in here.
And And that's the other thing. You're going to spend $80 million to fit guys in this defense and this offense to have them fired next year, and these guys may not even be a fit. So you're basically wasting this money in draft picks because not even like it could be a whole different, like Bubbles. If you say you go from Aaron Glenn to McDermott next year, or whoever, Tomlin, like, oh, I like this. This is my scheme. This is my fit. These guys don't fit. So now you just wasted your all these draft picks and $80 million in cap space.
Yep. And that's why the whole firing Glenn now would have been smart, because you have the 2 first-round picks this year. You got cap space this year. You've got the 3 first-round picks next year. You got cap space. 5 first-round picks, right? 9 picks over the first 2 days, 8 of those in the first 2 rounds, all of that stuff. We've talked about it. You gave a coach that right now, they get to go about their process in these 2 years, give them full control, whoever that could have been. A McCarthy, I know a lot of Jet fans like to crap on McCarthy. Like, we've, as an organization, have just had so much success the last 15 years. But it's like any of those guys to come in here and run it their way. Instead, you're doing this stupid 3-14, run it back. Yeah. No reason to run it back. You're going to fire him after this season. And then your selling point will be here, the 3 first-round picks, and hope, potentially the number 1 overall pick, and maybe your choice of Arch Manning, whatever, whoever the top quarterbacks are.
Dante Moore.
That's the funny part. Yeah, Dante Moore. If you're not with us, if you don't want to be here when we're 3-14 this year, don't be there when we're 3-14 next year.
There's 2 scenarios here for me, how I look at it. Either they're just so stupid they don't realize they should have fired him, or because they're paying him $12 million, they just don't want to fire him after the 12, because of that money.
Look at how much money they're spending by rebuilding his staff.
I agree with you.
You little Afrin. The only difference is you fired all your staff. You're rebuilding it. It's only his salary. They're gonna pay a pretty penny for friggin' Frank Reich. He ain't coming here cheap.
I agree with you.
All the assistants. He's like, if they hire Bevel, Roman, and Frank Reich, they're all getting paid very well. It'd been cheaper to fire Glenn at this point.
Exactly. Well, look, you should have been able to see that he couldn't control his defensive coordinator. He should have stepped in. The team was out of whack, and you saw nothing. No one developed. Nothing's changed. It probably got worse.
Yep.
If you don't see that this is not going to repeat itself, then
you deserve it.
It's a lost cause.
Like, Woody Johnson deserves all the shit he's going to eat over the next year, because this is all. It was predictable, and this doubling down on him, and this embarrassment of process. They deserve this now.
I just don't know what it's going to take. What embarrassment is enough before he reacts that I got to do something? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the next embarrassment will be his press conference when Woody Johnson meets the media at the owners' meeting. That'll be the next press conference.
Who is he throwing under the bus then?
He's going to say something stupid.
Of course.
Yeah. But
it always is. Always something stupid coming out of
I believe
every
in him.
time.
I believe in him. That's what you're going to hear.
And then the rebuttal is, okay, tell us why, because they went 3-14. He had to fire his entire staff. Like,
hug him every day.
Well, he's going to blame the quarterback. He's going to blame Enstrom that he wasn't good enough. He wasn't ready to run this team offensively, and it's going to be it's just going to be blaming. He has no problem. He has no problem blaming others.
But there's at some point when you point the finger, your thumb points at you, though, man. It's like Woody Johnson's going to embarrass himself. I'm guaranteed there'll be 2 embarrassing press conferences the next couple of weeks. It'd be Woody Johnson meeting the media and Aaron Glenn. Both going to be laughing.
Do you think he tops the Buffalo Bills ownership?
They're going. No, Woody will outdo that. Now it's like a challenge. It's like a challenge to him now. Like, oh, I can outdo that stupidity.
Yeah. Well, Pagula went to the Woody Johnson School of press conferences because Woody was first threw Fields under the bus, and then he threw Keon Coleman under the bus. And now Woody, it's going to be. I hug him every day now since it's the off season, and Woody maybe's not at the facility every day. It's I FaceTime him every day.
Oh God.
It's the power of friendship.
After have a good night, man. You got to smile. Bring some happiness to you. Eat some ice cream.
Having a Bubs, good to see you back from rehab. I'm glad you're
Yes, good to see you.
Good night, man.
Take care, guys.
We text. Afram's angry, dude, because he'll read like the tweets about the whole process. Like, he starts lighting up my phone. This freaking team, like, dude, don't gotta tell me. I was so mad, like the whole offensive coordinator. I was so mad at the coordinator. I didn't make a video, dude. I was so pissed. I'm like, they're doing what? I couldn't do it. Like, I'm out. I got to get a break from this because it's just taking over my life with anger. Like I had to take a break from it. I couldn't because it's going to be the result.
Yeah, it's such a disgrace. I mean, the whole process. They don't nothing. It's so funny because all these other teams are just lapping them. All these teams that fired coaches and hired coaches, and even the whole Giants thing of they still don't have an OC yet, but they got Harbaugh. They have a coach that has a clue. They have a coach that knows what he's doing. They have a coach that has a ton of connections. They're not interviewing 3 candidates that nobody else wants.
And they don't have they don't have Brian Duker at.
Oh yes, Brian Duker. Yes, the Duker Cooper.
Jets legend Brian Duker. What's up, man?
Of all the billionaires who were dumb enough to end up on Epstein Island, it's like, how is Woody the only one not to get an invite and take it up? I'm going through the news and I'm like, this guy couldn't just go, like of all of them, it's just unbelievable to me. Bobs, you mentioned Connor Hughes, who I just cannot stand. And I saw the clip that you're talking about. He's the most condescending, worst beat writer I've ever seen. Breaks the story once every 7 years and then doesn't stop reminding you of it. But Bobs, you mentioned, the point where Connor was like, if there's anyone who's built for this, it's Aaron Glenn. He doesn't care. He doesn't hear anything the media is saying, and he's going to power through it. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the same guy who, when Rich Cimini reported on an injury that happened,
good point,
could not help himself on the podium and ridiculed Rich Cimini. Oh, you're going to talk about injuries? Ask Rich. He knows everything.
Rich.
It's like he's the most thin-skinned head coach I've seen on the podium in recent Jets history, at least since Woody Johnson's been the owner. And I'm like, if anyone is not built for this, it's Aaron Glenn. It's just
he's proven it. Well, not even that. Think about when he said the team showed no effort and then he backtracked the next day. It's like, oh well, then my team did show effort. Where he started breaking out like fourth quarter garbage time stats and everything else. Like
the field stuff.
You literally watched Aaron Glenn melt from the beginning of the year to end of the year in terms of all his press conferences. If anything, he showed this job was too big for him. He was in over his head. He doesn't know what he's doing. That's what this is proven to us.
Everything that has been promised of Aaron Glenn. Mike Tannenbaum went on about how, it was great that they fired Saleh after and by the way, Saleh's going to suck in tennis. He's a terrible head coach. Like of all the hires that have been made, he is by far the worst one. I don't care who is over there. That guy has his 72nd hole of golf in by Thursday. Okay. And he's got 8 kids. Someone explained to me how someone can golf that much. And I swear to you, he chose Tennessee because it's year-round golf. He's no longer limited to, October. He's actually got to coach the team now, but that's neither here nor there. Tannenbaum went on about how it was great that they fired Saleh week 5 because it gave them like a 3-month runway to compile all this data, and we under-indexed on X's and O's and really over-indexed on the ability to build a staff and who wanted to work for Aaron Glenn. It's like, okay, maybe that's true. You hire Steve Wilkes, who has been fired after 1 year at his previous 5 stops. It's like, how did you think this movie was going to end? Like, have you read this book? Like, it's not going to work. I'm sure it doesn't make it through the year. And then, like the stuff he talked about with game management, where it was like, I own the last 4 minutes of each half. It's like this team, I actually did the math on this. This team was outscored 119-59 in the final 4 minutes of each half. So it's like the constant game mismanagement where it's like, he doesn't know that it's the line of scrimmage plus 17 yards.
Well, look at the Hail Mary thing.
The Nick Folk disaster.
Look at the Hail Mary play where he's like, in hindsight, I would have went for the Hail Mary.
Oh, yeah.
The next week he could have did it. He still didn't do it.
He didn't do it. Yeah, it was the Carolina game. They didn't do it.
The Tanner Engstrand stuff. Like, look, I think of all the hiring decisions, like, I think the consensus amongst fans was like, at the very worst, like the jury was still out in Engstrand. Like, I didn't find his play calling particularly creative. Like, run past to me. Sorry, like, not super compelling. But to fire someone 3.5 weeks after the season ends, after 7 of the 9 or whatever it is, or 10 head coaching spots have been filled and they've already built out their staffs, it's just completely unfair to do to someone. Like, and Aaron Glenn sat on that podium 2 days after the season ended. We're going to work our ass off to fix this. And he had to curse because then,
He's
like,
tough.
oh, he means business. He cursed in front of the media. the next day there's footage of him or pictures being taken on him on the way to Cabo. You know what I mean? It's like which so
Oh,
like
funny.
you got the vacation in first before you went out and started firing your staff. It's like, which one is it? Like, are you working your ass off? You on vacation? It's just completely unfair to do to someone.
So does Frank Reich inspire you as an offensive coordinator? Does it give you any glimmer of hope on offense? I kind of think it's going to be him, and they probably bring Roman or somebody as like a run game coordinator. Would that make you feel any better?
No, I mean, no, obviously not. I mean, look, Frank Reich is at least an adult in the room. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
His history hasn't been great as a play caller, and the recent history, the head coaching stint, like, was not good. I know there was like rumors down in Carolina that he preferred CJ Stroud to
Yep.
Bryce Young. And that might be true or might not. By the way, all this stuff is like revisionist history. Like now it's
Yeah.
like Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh didn't want to trade Sam Darnold. You know, like they didn't want Zach Wilson.
Yeah, they're all
It's funny how all this stuff changes after a couple of years. But no, it's an uninspiring move, and I think Greg Roman is even more uninspiring. I mean, but Greg Roman is at least on brand with like what Aaron Glenn says he wants to do. But like, I think Aaron Glenn is just dumb and, you know, thinks that like Bill Parcells won by controlling the clock, running the football really well, having this controlled passing game that could take some shots with like a veteran quarterback at the helm. And I think Glenn is just an idiot who is cosplaying these coaches that he's seen before him and doesn't have the gravitas or the know-how or the knowledge to like actually manage that. And so like I would expect it to be someone like Greg Roman, but knowing the Jets, it'll be Bevel. You know, like they're going to get their third option. Like that's if there's anything that's consistent about the Jets, it's going to get the third best option of the litter.
And that option probably like because like you figure like Frank Reich is more like a pocket passer. That's not Kyler Murray. Like the match of your coordinator and the available quarterbacks is so funny, dude, because they don't really match like who they get. So it's not going to work.
No, I mean, yeah. Also, like who's playing quarterback here? Malik Willis matches at least like what Aaron Glenn wanted from a quarterback, right? Like super athletic, mobile.
Yeah.
He's
But
probably going to Miami, I'm guessing though.
yeah, I mean,
And they're not going to coach him right here. Who are we kidding?
well, we could have if LaFleur was still the head coach.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? Kick LaFleur to the curb so they could hire Hackett. That was another genius
Good
move.
for LaFleur, by the way.
Yeah, good for him, of course.
The
Yeah,
one
Dylan
time
Buffalo
this offense is a little competent in the last 15 years, minus the 2015 season, it was LaFleur. And the one season in 2017 they had with McCown, they actually mustered up some points. And then they fired Morton, so then they promoted Bates because Bowles wanted to run the ball more. That was another genius move.
Yeah, wasn't Bates on like the Appalachian Trail when they called him or something?
Yeah, he did like a retreat. He was doing a retreat. Yeah, it was like it was like a Cliff Kingsbury took the one-way trip to Korea. It was
hiring.
Yeah, Jeremy
for
Bates was
offensive
climbing
coordinator,
the mountains in the motherlands.
Mike LaFleur had a top 5 offense when anyone not named Zach Wilson was the quarterback. It's
Josh Johnson.
Mike White, Mike
Yeah,
White
Mike
was
White.
like, you know, borderline elite in that offense. It's unbelievable.
Have a good night, Jack. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Take it easy, guys. Appreciate it.
How we going?
It's like a Jets therapy session, man. So like, is there news that came out just now? I gotta look this up real quick. What happened? What's going on? I think they completed their interviews or some nonsense.
Oh yeah. They announced second round
In-person
interviews.
interviews.
In person,
Darryl- Oh, wonderful.
Bevel and Roman.
So now the interesting, they said they completed their second in-person interviews with Darrell Bevel and Greg Roman. No mention of Frank Reich.
Yeah, I wonder if that's.
Frank Reich's like, you know what? Boomer Esiason talked him out of it. He's like, I'm out of this. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's Frank Reich. It's not even Frank Reich's not even there.
Nope.
Oh, God, isn't that something? You go from
telling
Frank
you, dude,
Reich to
If it's
Wink Martindale.
If they do Greg Roman and run it back with Justin Fields, I'm done. I'm
You know what's-
1,000% done. Done.
You
That
know
would
what's
be it.
funny? We got to start building an almost Jet staff. Lance Newmark, the general manager, right? He was in the building. Wink Martindale DC. Remember Doug Marrone? Was that the 2015 cycle? I think it was Doug Marrone, right? They
That's
almost
when
hired him
Manish had
too.
this. Yeah, that's when Manish had the smear campaign against them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think was that with the Bulls? I thought that they almost had a deal done and then it didn't fell through, whatever.
It's a bunch of them.
Jeez, Lance. I don't know what happened with Lance Newmark. I don't know what happened when that day, when whatever happened from him to going to that facility to leaving that facility.
So they didn't mention Frank Reich, which means
didn't.
that means it's going to come down to Bevel or Greg Roman.
Lovely. The
And
two
then Greg Roman-
hot coordinators out there.
Greg Roman has Aaron Glenn's brand with that smash mouth rushing style, running style.
Yeah, remember that? He fought the media with that too last year. Oh, well, the Eagles won the Super Bowl with the 29th ranked passing offense. Yeah, that worked great. You know what else too about that Connor Hughes report that Jack kind of mentioned? That's another thing with Glenn too. Remember after the Bucks game, he's like, "Oh well, you know what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to listen to the New York media and be all negative and stuff." It's like you're feeding into it.
Yep, 100%.
You talk so much about, and in the backtracking, we're building a team that fans can be proud of.
We're not
That's not
proud
our
of
goal
anything
right now.
now.
We're building for it. Oh,
They
yeah, there
can't
is
even-
nothing.
they're just the fact that Frank Reich is not mentioned in that
it's-
the in-person interviews. It's down to Bevel and Roman. It's like pick your poison. How do you want to die? Do you want to die by food or by liquid? How do you want to die today?
Well, like I said, Bevel's got the interim head coach experience. He was after Patricia and then after Urban Meyer, so in Jacksonville. So if there's, if you want that interim coach that's got the experience, you hire Bevel. He'll be ready to go.
You know what the thing
week
is?
8.
The thing with Roman is it's going to be Glenn's chance to bring back Justin Fields. I'm telling you, try to save some money. We reviewed our options. We still believe in Justin. He's our guy. He can run the ball. We did it with Kaepernick 20,000 years ago.
Imagine
Can
that.
you imagine, dude?
They asked Fields to go in the Pro Bowl.
For what? Well, friggin' Shador Sanders is there.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl's a joke.
What if it feels too busy? But
He said he denied because he's training.
I thought he was hurt.
He's going his off-season training.
Wasn't he hurt?
Yeah, that's
I hate this team, dude. I gotta mentally prepare myself for this because I convinced myself that Frank Reich was gonna be okay. I'm like, all right, Bevel, I can make a case for it. I won't like it. I can make a case. But if he goes to Roman, I'm done, dude. That's just I can't do it.
It's all another one that falls through with Frank Reich.
Money.
If he doesn't get hired, yeah.
It's gotta be money because think about it, Martindale was money. There's no doubt in my mind it was money. Where Woody Johnson's like, you know what? I'm not gonna spend all this money on defense and your defensive coach, you do it. But if it's on both sides of the ball,
It's just sad that these are the names that we're talking about. Wink Martindale out of the NFL for 2 years. Wasn't very good at Michigan. Frank Reich out of the NFL for a couple years. Was a disaster in Carolina. Greg Roman just got fired. Darrell Bevel hasn't been an OC in a couple years. Like these are the names.
this is where football's going.
I see people digging up Darrell Bevels and working with Russell Wilson back in the first coming of the Legion of Boom.
2014.
The joke. And then you got the Patriots. They draft a bust in Mac Jones, draft the franchise quarterback, all that before we have a winning season. We're still tripping over ourselves.
What's up, man?
How y'all doing, man?
I'm disgusted, dude. You know what's funny is like I entered this show. I'm like, all right, we're gonna talk about the positives that this offensive coordinator could bring to it. And 15 minutes in, Bubs had me pissed off. And I'm angry again. I calmed down. Like I had the whole weekend. I did no Jets content. I calmed down, and now I'm miserable again.
Well, I mean, where can I? First, I'll start by saying this. The reason why they so inept in Justin Fields is because when Justin Fields was in Chicago, I think Aaron Glenn was the DC.
He was.
Justin Fields must have put a whooping on him because there's no reason why, after seeing the season that he just had, for you to even think like that would be marketable to New York Jet fans. We're not stupid. We saw the results on the field, man.
No, I completely agree. There's nobody. If you go Justin Fields and draft Ty Simpson, we'll be calling for Ty Simpson to play by the first half. We'll be calling for Ty Simpson to play.
Yeah. And then, it never stops. That's why my title is "We're 2 years away from being 2 years away."
True.
It's every single time. Because think about it like this, right? They called Gruden and said, "You want to be an OC?" Why would Gruden ever be an OC to somebody else, especially if if he's trying to come back into the league as a head coach.
Especially a coach that's
You know.
3-14 and on a hot seat that Gruden could literally take his job. Like, if you're calling Gruden, you offer him the head coaching job, not an offensive coordinator job.
Like and then out of nowhere, because the NFL is full of surprises, the Bills fire Sean McDermott. We not, so we just gonna leave him, just leave him there. Just let him collect his bearings, and we not even gonna try. We not even gonna try to at least say ourselves like, damn,
I do it
Glenn's
today.
not
Dude.
doing it.
I would literally do it today. Based on how poorly they run last 3 weeks, the Jets are already a laughing stock. You can't make any more fun of them. Nobody wants to come here. Nobody cares about them. Fire everybody. Hire McDermott today. I have no problem with it. I'd rather the Jets go 3-14 while McDermott cleans all this shit up and figures it out. They go 3-14 with Aaron Glenn, because we know it's you're just literally wasting cap space and draft picks right now. That's all you're doing.
And he literally got fired from a division, right? He has that fire in him.
100%. He's a great coach, man.
Yeah, he's a great coach, and not only may he work on the mistakes that he didn't do in Buffalo, that he could do here, which is even better.
This is similar to when Mike Vrabel was available and the Jets didn't pick up on him, and then he had a year out. What is he, a consultant with the Browns or something like that?
Yeah.
Then he went to the Patriots. This is the same thing now. What's McDermott going to do this year? Probably be a consultant somewhere, hang out, do this, kind of sit around. Now's your chance, because next year all the teams that needed coaches they're all filled up now. Next year you're gonna be one of many teams competing for them. So as you're saying, Bubs, be proactive for once. Like, this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
They could have did it with Harbaugh. They could have did it with Stefanski.
They could have did it with all these guys. Heck, I'd take Cliff Kingsbury right now over Glenn.
He's playing with the Giants, I think.
Yeah.
Like, you would think with all the players we have, at least somebody was productive. We can't even name a person. Offensive, the special teams?
Bro, we hired a defensive coordinator that did a Zoom interview that nobody even knew. Like, even like the biggest of, like, we had all these, like, like Ian does all these great videos breaking down all like the defensive coordinator candidates. Yeah. This guy wasn't even on the list. They did some random interview at night and hired him next
Monday.
day.
Yep,
like,
I hired him on
everybody's
Tuesday.
like, oh, what? Like, oh, he's an innovative young guy. No, he's not, dude. He's probably just your water boy at this point.
And they just what is the end result of doing all this? Because here's the thing. It would have been fine had we been in a situation like, let's just say, for example, had we been in a situation like the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints, by the way, was 2 games away from actually being tied in the division, I think, with
they finished
Falcons.
Strong. Yep.
Yeah, because they was competitive down the stretch. And the reason why is because they got 10 losses, the other team had 9, and so forth. But when you go into the season, and just for example, look at the Buffalo game, the Denver game, the Carolina game. We have all these examples of Fields not being able to throw for 100 yards, or at least get close to 100 yards. It got so bad to the point where I think Brees is the only 1,000-yard person that has stats. I believe. I'm
well, the receiving numbers were terrible. So
yeah, Garrett Wilson led the way with 395 receiving yards, and he hasn't called a pass since week 8, I think it was. So he had under 400 yards, and he led the team, and he was injured.
You're 2-4, and you telling me Garrett Wilson wants to stay on the team again? Nope. To have to go through another cycle of new quarterback, new coach, it's like it wanes on you. The ineptitude wanes on you.
Losing
wanes on you.
Well, no, it's one thing. It's losing. It's also losing in the New York market with fan bases fed up. The New York media just thrives off this negativity and just bashes the team endlessly. And you're on social media, you see it, like, you just want to enjoy your Sunday or enjoy your day. Like, these players are tired of it, dude. Year after year, disappointment. You're irrelevant by Halloween. Like, you just want to enjoy the actual football life.
I mean,
can't even enjoy the Super Bowl without the 2 Jets storylines.
Yeah, because and that's another thing. Because I saw the former GM McCagnon saying he had all the belief.
He came out of the woodwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another clown.
Yeah, and he probably was our best quarterback that we never really got to develop. and now look at him just prospering in the Super Bowl right now. Meanwhile, we over here in the frozen tundra talking about, damn, who we picking up? Like
we're trying to inspire ourselves. We're trying to like feel good about like, oh, we're trying to find something to buy into, and we just can't. It's
Greg Roman and Daryl Bevel, the two hot names out there, baby.
That's right. Come football, come get some.
You know, is for every single season, there's supposed to be a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's forever going to be that fucking train that keeps running us over. So it's like at this point, you know what? I'm gonna just stand where that train is, because unless it changes, what is the goal? If you waited until Steve Wells you waited for him to get fired. You waited for Steve Wilkes to get fired, and then you don't make a change to the defense. You don't call plays.
Nope.
You was doing that out in Detroit because that was your job. But you know, it's just confusion. That's what the Jets are. They're confusing themselves. They're confusing the fan base, and they're confusing their players. We should call ourselves the New York Confusers, because
Circus.
Come on, ineptitude.
That's what it is. It's incompetence, ineptitude. Thanks for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
Talk to you.
How we going?
This is it. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, man? What's up, guys? This is the first season where I really don't care what happens with anything to do with this team right now. We are always a day late and a dollar short. And we all feel the same way, man. It is very hard to believe in, especially when this whole hiring process. It's February 2nd. We have an offensive coordinator. It's so discouraging.
They're just so far away. They're so far away from 9 wins, 7 wins. I mean, they're probably a 3-4 win team, which is fine. I mean, it's
we
the
get
Hugh
6
Jackson
wins is like a
double tank.
highlight. 6 wins is like a miracle for us at this point.
If they get 6 wins, I'd be shocked.
I'd be shocked too.
This season's going to be a disaster. And, you know, we all went into last year with low expectations, but it's still the new coach. Hopefully they can get a little bit of that new coach bump. Glenn said a lot of the right things, and the training camp, they were practicing during training camp. Isn't that something? We just look back on that, how pathetic that was. They thought they were practicing during training camp. Good. They were tackling. Good.
But look, they were tackling each other though. When another team, they didn't know what to do.
They had refs at practice.
That was the highlight.
And that was the big thing. They went from 32nd to 23rd in penalties.
Yep.
Big. That's big. Huge.
Big. But meanwhile,
it's just this is such a waste of time. This season is the 2026 season is such a waste of time. The draft, free agency, because they don't have the right people in charge.
Nope.
We're just going to be back to square one this time next year. I'd say we have our new head coach, but who knows? I mean, it's February 2nd. They still have the OC. So, yeah, no 0 block field goals. That was it. That's a joke, too. How in your right mind in this market do you have the audacity to sit up there and say that? We looked at our field goal protection, and we're really happy with the 0 block field goals. Like, are we serious? Look at the record. Read the room. 0 blocked field goals. What?
Well, dude, he was talking about fourth quarter stats and blowout games. Like, well, this team. No, the other team quit.
Yeah.
They're up by 30. That's what
the Jaguars game, the way they stopped the run in the fourth quarter down 30. By the way, the game that they fired their defensive coordinator. Really proud of that one. Same thing in New England. They didn't quit. 42-10. They didn't quit. No quit in our guys.
Yeah, they're losing their third stringers.
Yeah. And how many times too? Did Glenn preach end of the fourth, or 4 minutes in the end of the first half, 4 minutes in the end of the game belonged to the coach? Didn't know Nick Folk's field goal range.
Yeah, their play calling for halftime was horrendous.
Oh, it was terrible. And I'll learn from this. We'll be better next week. They had a chance, and it was also horrendous.
Well, we can end this show on a positive, because one of us on our weekly streams actually supports a team that's in the Super Bowl with our former cornerback, Sam Darnold. We've been friends with Jose for a long time, and he tries to support the Jets, but now he knows how bad we are. He makes fun of us just like we do, because that's what we do. His team is in the Super Bowl. You bastard.
My God. So let me get this straight. You don't have an offensive coordinator.
Nope.
And yet, you want to hire one that the Patriots a Super Bowl at the 1-11. Why? Why, God? Why?
Makes no sense, dude.
Ah,
Well, let's talk Seahawks, man. What's your prediction for Sunday?
23-13. See,
Sam Darnold, the Super Bowl MVP?
I hope that. Yeah, I'll say yes.
I think so too.
I'll say
I
yes.
think Kenneth Walker's gonna have a big game too, though.
Yeah. Garrett was as well. Lance, how are you?
Doing good. Excited for the Super Bowl. But I mean, it's tough to talk about the Jets that when it's just I'm doing good. Getting through the offseason. February 2nd, still don't have an OC. Otherwise I'm good.
How's school?
Oh, it's going well. Yeah. Good to be back. Last week they shut the campus down because of the snow, so
Right.
luckily no snow this week.
You get snow out there, Jose, or no?
No, never.
You lucky. We're buried here.
Yeah. Still it hasn't melted either. Because it's been so cold.
It's all ice.
Yeah.
Tyson,
Yo,
what did you think of it? UFC.
Volkanovski was awesome, dude. Volkanovski put on a clinic. What a phenomenal champion, man. I thought that was great. I love the UFC on Paramount Plus, man. I watch it all. It's just you can sit back, relax, and just enjoy the fights. And they start early. The prelims are on at 7. The main card starts at 9. It's excellent.
I do have one question. Question about the Jets. Because you've heard of Garrett was
Yep.
probably getting tired of losing. Would you trade him for a first round pick, say, to the Cowboys?
Trade Garrett Wilson for a first round pick. No,
Yeah.
you're gonna be trading him the first round pick. You're taking a receiver, so you're just gonna trade him to
Yeah.
replace him.
I wish I could request a trade.
I'm trying to trade myself. I mean, I understand that if he wants out and demands a trade, it's one thing, but he's literally your only building block on offense. He's all you have, dude. Especially if you want to develop a young quarterback, you need somebody like that.
What offense is there? They don't know what offense they're running.
I mean, Jose, look at this one. We have no coordinator. We have no quarterback. What else could be wrong?
No quarterbacks coach. No tight ends coach.
Running back wants out.
Yeah, that's another thing. When did this team? It's the year 2026. We could use the tight end position.
Yep.
Gosh, the tight end position's a joke too. But Dustin Keller was the last consistent tight end we had.
Jose, what are you doing for the Super Bowl? You having a party?
I'm just gonna watch it in my room.
There you go. You're gonna be nervous.
Yes.
I bet. I can't even imagine how excited you must be. I can't even relate. I can't even see a goddamn playoff game. I can't even see like a meaningful game in December.
I'm sorry, man. I really am.
Enjoy the game. We're rooting for you guys.
Thanks. Love you guys.
Love you too, man. Have a good
Where are we
night.
going?
You too.
I can. The week going up to the Super Bowl is something we will never feel, but I can only imagine.
Yeah, I don't like this game. I want to see the Patriots lose. Obviously, I'm rooting for Sam Darnold. I want to see the Patriots lose, but like, there's just like I want to see our team hire a staff. Like, game doesn't mean anything.
Nice.
I'm just like I know how far away we are from it. It's just like this makes it even worse.
Yeah, offensive coordinator would be nice. They're pretty important
for some teams. Not when you have a guru. When you have a guru at head coach, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Yes.
Man.
By the way, Afram actually just commented. I pulled up the picture I took at training camp. The $5 off the chicken tenders. Here it was a gift for you. Redeem for $5 off concessions at today's season ticket holder exclusive practice. Thanks, Woody. Maybe next year it'll be $3 for the 3 wins.
Doesn't even cover tolls. Oh my god.
Well, they're never going to the Super Bowl.
Well, thank you guys for joining us again. It turned into I tried to make this a conversation that's gonna be productive about the offensive coordinator position, but it's hard because the stench of the Jets just leaks into the show. Then you get me all pissed off within 15 minutes, and then it goes right to shit. So thank you guys for joining us. I think tomorrow at 7. Oh, poor Ian. I think I have Ian tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. He's got no chance.
Maybe we'll have an OC, or will it be one of these? The Jets always find a way to get in the news. Like Super Bowl Sunday last year, as the Rodgers news broke.
Yep.
It's like the Jets are irrelevant. They won 5 games, and yet they were the talk of Super Bowl Sunday for the early portion of the day. So I wonder if we get the news Super Bowl Sunday morning again.
You got to watch. They may have a Zoom meeting tonight. They may have a Zoom interview tonight.
Yeah.
And hire somebody tomorrow we don't even know about.
Yeah, I wonder who that might be. Yeah, find somebody random.
Tom Smith from the Falcons or something.
Yeah, some random guy. And then Glenn, you see what Glenn said about Brian Duker?
Yeah, whatever.
He runs our style.
They don't have a style.
Yeah.
Their style is losing.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. Watch out for the virtual interview that'll come up tomorrow, and then the hiring on Wednesday. That'll really speed up the process.
Probably happening right now.
The things I would do to be a fly on the wall with those meetings with the brain trust of the Jets, Woody, Muji, Glenn, Jaime, Spielman, the discussions the incompetence, you could just smell the incompetence coming from the room.
Thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, tomorrow night, 7:00. And then next week, we'll be back to discuss. Maybe we'll suit the Super Bowl, and then maybe we have a coaching staff we can think about.
Yes.
I have a funny feeling we'll be
Hopefully.
disappointed, but whatever.
Yes, hopefully we'll have an OC.
Talk to you guys later.
J-E-T-S,